ladies and gentlemen. My name is Tim Moffatt, and I am here to present my persuasive speech as to why we should lower the drinking age to 18. I hope you enjoy. The legal drinking age in the United States is 21 years of age. There's some evidence that the drinking age should be lowered to 18. This proposal is designed to make the case and provide some context as to why that's not such a terrible idea. Drinking in the United States is seen as a rite of passage. People go off to college and are almost expected to drink while underage and party in order to blow off steam. Spring break brings an annual $1.6 billion into South Florida every year. And a good percentage of that is due in part to underage drinking. On its face, this may seem like a terrible idea. Why would anybody want to allow people who've not finished fully growing to be able to pollute their bodies and potentially hinder growth? There's also the issue of not having enough life experience to make proper decisions, especially while under the influence of any substance. However, as I will point out, that's not the case across the bar for everyone. Every person in every situation comes with a context that dictates whether this is a good idea for the user or not. Just like some people are naturally inclined to be great students, and some have to work a little harder in order to get better grades. In the state of Florida, the age of consent is 18. In the United States, people are legally considered adults at the age of 18 as well. That means that we've already sanctioned at what age people should be reasonably having sex. We've already sanctioned at what age it is appropriate to allow people to enlist in the armed forces. That means that at the age of 18, we've given people enough leeway to make another person or to take another person's life. We've already made a somewhat arbitrary number of years the benchmark for major life-changing experiences, and yet we've decided to make the drinking age higher than that. Why is that? If a person can be reasonably trusted to make the kinds of decisions that soldiers have to make, or those that parents have to make, why can't they decide for themselves if they'd like to have a beer or not? The root of the problem does not lie in the age of the people involved, though it may be true that 18-year-olds may not have fully developed skills or life experience. But by 18, one should know right from wrong, and should be able to know that there are consequences to their actions. As a society, we glorify the college experience. We also glorify drinking as a part of life in many circles. 4 out of 5 college students have reported being drinkers, and half of that have reported to be binge drinkers. The problem is not so much when or who, it's how much. 1,825 college students between the ages of 18 and 24 die each year from alcohol-related unintentional injuries. This is according to the National Institute of Alcoholism and Alcohol Abuse. 690,000 students between the ages of 18 and 24 are assaulted each year by peers who are under the influence of alcohol. 97,000 alcohol-related sexual assaults are reported by students between the ages of 18 and 24 each year. And that's not to mention the 599,000 alcohol-induced injuries, the suicide attempts, the escalating health problems, and the ensuing problems with their academics. There's a problem here. But please notice that the age that falls in between 18 and 24 is 21. Not all 18 to 24-year-olds do these things, and the majority is not caught up in drunken shenanigans while away at school. However, to say that it is not perfectly all right for an 18-year-old to shoulder the responsibility of becoming a parent or to be shipped off to war to potentially kill someone and not be allowed a beer is ludicrous. The problem lies in prohibition. We know that. And we've known that as a society for close to 100 years. The Volstead Act was the 18th Amendment to the Constitution enacted by Congress in 1919 in order to stop the manufacture, sale, and distribution of intoxicating liquids. for purposes that do not pertain to religious use or manufacturing of goods such as fuels, dyes, or any other lawful industry or practice. The Volstead Act lasted until 1933, when the 21st Amendment to the Constitution struck down the 18th Amendment. The reason being was the Volstead Act never officially stopped the manufacturing, sale, or distribution of alcohol. It just made criminals rich in the process, and people who wanted a cocktail became criminals. We live in the United States of America. We are the land of the free and the home of the brave. To tell someone they cannot enjoy intoxicating liquid of their choosing, but they might have to go to another country to kill enemy combatants is an insult. There's a faction that might want to regulate beer over liquor, or what types of intoxicating liquid should be available to the 18-year-old crowd. There's a precedent set for that argument as well. Before the government fully repealed the 18th Amendment, they attempted to regulate the amount of alcohol beer and wine could legally have in it, in order to be sold to the public. The result was that people drank twice as much. The reality of the situation has nothing to do with availability or regulation of alcohol content. It has to do with teaching people that moderation is the key to being treated as an adult. I propose that colleges try to inform students about the dangers of binge drinking. I propose that they show these statistics to their students, put a human face to an unimaginable situation that might involve sexual assault, injury, or death. Will that stop the situation? Probably not. However, raising or lowering the drinking age isn't actually going to stop it either. Education is the key to keeping people on the right path. Raising well-adjusted, good kids makes them responsible adults who have the potential to keep on the straight and narrow path while away at school. Some people are going to drink. Some people are going to do drugs. Many people just hurt people and generally do whatever they want, no matter what age they are or how they were raised. This is an unfortunate fact of life that we must deal with. However, by punishing everyone for the sins of the unfortunate, we are teaching people that the bad apples dictate the rules, when that should never be the case. By lowering the drinking age to 18, it shows them that we as a society trust our young people to make the right decisions. We already trust them to protect us in wartime. We already trust that they will hopefully make the right decisions when it comes to raising a family. Neither are ideal situations for any 18-year-old to be in. But by making the conscious decision to not allow them to make the decisions for themselves, we've taken away their rights to be an adult. I can't think of anything less skewed and unconstitutional than that. While lowering the drinking age may not stave off the issues that come along with young people drinking, raising the age wouldn't have much an effect either. Take into consideration the nature of drug abuse. People who want drugs are going to find them, no matter how illegal they are, because if there's a market for it, someone's going to sell it. Technically, the age of the person is a moot point. Sure, no one in their right mind is going to serve a 6-year-old a whiskey, but what's stopping them from sneaking a sip from their parents' liquor cabinet? The point is that by focusing on the reasons why people drink to excess and educating them to the very real dangers they face by doing that, there may be some actual progress that can be made. Prohibition and arbitrary age restrictions do no good in the long run. However, they do create a market for people with less than good intentions to capitalize on a situation and potentially makes criminals out of people who need help. Putting a Band-Aid on a hemorrhaging wound doesn't stop the bleeding any more than staring at it does. Putting pressure in the right places and focusing on the task that's truly at hand is the only way to solve a problem. So let's keep it fair and lower the drinking age to 18. We have other issues that need to be tended to instead of discriminating against all 18-year-olds. Thank you.